Okay guys, today's completely different. Like I always say, it's different because today is a different day. But today we're gonna do some boas. Check this out. This is a coastal Rosie boa from California, and he's a big old boy. Actually, he's a big old girl. And Rosies are really easy to sex because you can actually see a spur. Unlike a lot of boas, you can't tell by the spurs. Some spurs are bigger, some spurs are smaller. But the funny part is, Rosie boas all look like males. They have a big long tail and it looks all fatty, and they all look like males, but that doesn't mean anything. It's all about the spurs. If they have any spurs, they're a male. If they have no spurs at all, they're a female. And they're pretty cool, and of course, being a boa, that means ding ding, live babies 99% of the time, because actually, I'm gonna show you some boas that some of the species of boas actually lay eggs today. So, okay, you ready? We're gonna do 10 cool boas. Now, make sure you comment below what's your favorite boa, and hey, tell us which one you like. Hey, check this out. Now, this ain't just a rainbow boa. This is actually what we call a ghost rainbow boa. Now, the crazy part, rainbow boas are typically really colorful, and this guy here has had all his color sucked out in the wild. Now, when I say sucked out in the wild, what I really mean is he's genetically different. Of course, you guys all know we do morphs. Well, this is a morph. This is one of the early rainbow morphs. There's albino rainbows, there's leucistic rainbows, and this is, like I said, ghost, and it's really awesome, pretty cool. We've actually bred them. It's kind of fun. And of course, they have babies also, live babies, but we're not done yet. Let's see what else we got over here. Is a sand boa, but here's the funny part is, there's a whole bunch of sand boas that actually lay eggs. So just because it's a boa doesn't mean it only has live birth, but that's generally what the difference between a boa and a python is. Now, the cool part about this guy's, he's actually what you call an albino paradox. Now, paradox is a term of like paradox. It ain't supposed to happen. It's like unheard of, never happened before. So this is, albinos are supposed to have no black pigment. Well, as you can see, this guy's got black spots, and he's an albino. All these other colors are supposed to be black and dark colors and browns, and he still has his black pigment. So pretty cool. And the cool part about this guy, if you drop him in the sand, he's gone. He goes under like a sandfish, or like you ever seen that movie Tremors? Oh yeah, this is a baby trimmer little creature. So you guys have to check that out. So let's see what else we got here. We talked about rainbow boa earlier ago, right? How about a Brazilian rainbow boa? Now it comes in albino too, but we don't have one. It's very gorgeous, beautiful red, absolutely awesome snake. And these, of course, then again, we're back to now we're pretty much all live bears. And Brazilian rainbows come from South America. The sand boas come from actually different places in Africa, generally speaking. And they're really cool. And this guy here is capable of, they can have 20 babies, 22 babies at a max. They're real beautiful. And look at that. And they even come better looking than this. They have a Hypo one that has like half the pigment and twice the red. This is an average looking one, but you know, a little bit better than average, but it's a pretty snake, right guys? So have you commented below yet and decided which one's your favorite? What we got here is just a really cool aberrant striped albino. It's a really good looking snake. It almost looks like a motley, but it's not. And it's an albino Colombian Redtail boa. But it used to be called boa constrictor, but now they call them boa constrictor imperator, which we've kind of always knew which is Central America / Colombia. And it's a real beautiful snake. This is an albino. What do you guys think? That's a pretty snake, huh? Look at that pattern, the back, the tail, very good looking. And this is a Hypo too, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's funny. It's hard to even tell because it's an older animal and it's got such unique pattern and color. You don't have a lot of things to reference, but I would say even its bow tie, it's got a bow tie in the front. I'd say definitely a Hypo, but it's a cool snake. This female here produces a lot of our beautiful babies. As a matter of fact, she had a clutch not that long ago. We got to get her weight back up. JT will take care of that so we can get some more babies. And this is a Hypo, Colombian Redtail, and there you go. Pretty cool. Like, look at her pattern. She's got a aberrant pattern also. She's got, see the bow ties? We call those bow ties. And that's the pattern right on her back. See, they're like a bow tie, a bow tie. Now, she has a broken bow ties, and they kind of remind me of butterflies when they're like that because they have like a butterfly wing pattern. They're really cool. Beautiful belly. She's actually got some salmon in her too, which is not a genetic thing. Now, this one here comes from Mexico, and it's called a Baja Rosie. It's now Baja Rosie's come in 2 different colors. This in a really reddish color, the same one. It looks just like this except the brown is red, and it's a beautiful snake. Look at that. And these ones come from the basically, you know, pretty far down. There's one that comes in the middle that looks kind of like in between, you know, like I say, kind of red colored, but they're really cool. They make neat albinos. They make like ghosty looking albinos that really little head, and they can actually big food. They only need water like twice a year. They come from a real harsh area, and of course live babies. Beautiful salmon hypo, got gorgeous color, and this is a Colombian Redtail also. So it's a, like I say, hypo, sun glows. It's really the same thing, but the coral is just part of the makeup of the original bloodline, and it makes they're really beautiful snakes. I mean, you can see how beautiful the color is. And this one's got some neat blotching on it and really cool looking. This is a motley albino, but it looks like it must be have some snow or something, some other genes going on in it, because it's really faded. It's really different. Look at its spots. It looks like it might be a motley moon glow. It's a really cool looking snake. If you guys know exactly what kind of motley this is, comment below, because I'm not even sure, to be honest. I remember we had one time that was supposed to be a moon glow, and I think this looks like it might be it, but it's a crazy snake. It's almost like a snow. It just got little rings on it. It looks like an anaconda. Look at the dots. We're trying to make a cool video that you guys will have a lot of fun with. So look at that. So this is a yellow anaconda. 12 feet. They can have as many as probably 80 babies. They're really cool. They eat about anything. They'll eat other snakes. They eat caimans. They eat anything. They eat ducks. They eat birds. They eat small game of all kinds. And these ones actually come from further south, from Paraguay and different places like that, if I'm not mistaken. And the green anacondas, they come a little bit less south, and they get big. They get really big. So we're gonna wait. Well, we don't have a great big giant anaconda. But we're gonna put an anaconda at the end. A beautiful Central American hypo. It's not a hypo. It's a Central American T-positive albino. Look at the color on the tail of this snake. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we have one of these in hypo. We should have brought it. It's a beautiful snake, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, I just think the tail on these, the color is so different. It's just like so unique. And this guy here these are actually considered a dwarf boa. So this boa here, instead of a lot of the boas getting 8, 10, maybe 12 feet, this guy here should stay in the 4 to 6 foot range. So it's kind of like a dwarf retic. So it's a locality. They come from islands. They come from Central America. Life's rough there, just like where the islands where the small retics come from. And so the snakes don't get as big. Now, of course, if you want a snake to get bigger, you got to feed it more often. If you want a snake to stay smaller, you got to feed it less often, and maybe a little bit smaller prey item. Anacondas, honestly, they no longer can be brought into the U.S. because they're considered an invasive species due to a law that was passed by non-scientists, but whatever, we won't go there, even though I really want to go there. Anyway, anacondas are really cool. They eat almost anything. They eat alligators, they've eaten cows, they're actually considered the heaviest snake in the world. I think that's debatable, but they've been found up to, you know, high 300 pounds, 400 pounds. Probably you can find something on the internet that says they get 35 feet, 40 feet, but you know, I've never seen one over about 25 feet. And they're incredible, and they're gorgeous snakes, but they're also unpredictable. Now, even though anacondas can be a great pet, you got to keep in mind that a lot of times they'll turn around and bite you, and you won't even know why, and they won't even know why. They just kind of sneaky. It's not that they just literally be holding them like this, and they'll be rubbing against your leg, and all of a sudden, first time I ever held an anaconda, I just looked over, and it was opening its mouth, and by that time it was too late. It already had me. But anyway, look at the beautiful spots. They're really cool. It's good for camouflage. They go underwater. They can have 100 babies. There are all kinds of neat things. Look at the pattern on their belly. They blend in really good to, you know, really pattern like grassy, you know, watery areas. And man, they can go underwater for a long time. So, okay, well, let us know what you think about anacondas. What do you think about all these different boas? Do you have a favorite? Let me know what your favorite is. Okay, guys, hope you had fun changing it up. Got an idea of a cool video? Comment below. Tell us what you want to see. Tortoises? What do you want to see next? Anyway, awesome. Thanks for following us, and have an awesome day. Living the dream, guys.